Hi everybody, I know it's been a couple of weeks, I apologise for that. I've had to concentrate on my other studies, I'm afraid, but here we are, back with a full class. So, before you start, pause this video and go and find in your house anything that you can make yourself comfortable with later. Ideally, a couple of yoga blocks, but if you haven't got yoga blocks, a couple of big hardback books, like cookbooks or something, you want to try and be able to get yourself up by about, I don't know, 6 inches, something like that. Also, if you haven't got a bolster, which I don't, just a few nice comfy cushions, I'll get those out of the way for now, and a blanket. So those of you who come to my classes regularly will know what I've got planned for you for your relaxation. So yeah, just grab those, pause the video, go and get all those things, just have them nearby, and something warmer for relaxation later as well. And we'll look forward to that at the end of the class. Okay, so I'm just going to move these things out of the way. So we're going to start sitting down. Nice comfortable seated position, whichever is most comfortable for you. Ideally cross-legged if you need to. Just use a block to lift the hips a little bit, just to help it feel a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to begin. Sitting nice and tall, nice straight spine. Grow tall out of the crown of the head. Shoulders back and down. Closing the eyes and just bringing your attention to your breathing. In and out through the nose. And just taking a moment just to bring yourself into your body. Just have a little scan. Notice how it feels today. Notice how your mind is today. Is it really overactive? Lots going on, any anxiety. If your heart rate is a little high, if you're feeling any sort of stress or anxiousness, let's just take a minute, starting to deepen your breath. Really softening the tummy muscles as you breathe in. Let the belly expand as your lungs fill with air. And then as you exhale, just gently drawing the navel back towards the spine. And repeat. Now we're going to try to make our out breath longer than the in breath. So we're going to count just internally, breathing in for 4. And breathing out for 8. And again, in for 4, soft belly, and out for 8. So you're really going to need to slow that out breath, control it, make it smooth, lasting to the count of 8. And if you've got any time spare there, just pause before you breathe in. Big breath for 4, and then exhaling for 8. And as I say, if you're comfortable to leave a pause, then do so. If not, if you're desperate for that breath, then just soften the tummy muscles and let it in. Over time, you become more comfortable with the pause in between each breath. Out for 8. So you should be feeling your heart rate slowing down, the mind starting to quiet. Let's just do one more round of this deep abdominal breath. In for 4 and out for 8. Okay, so you can keep your eyes closed if you wish. Just take your right ear down towards your right shoulder. And then coming to centre, chin to chest. Feel that stretch all the way down the back of the neck. And then lifting the chin slightly. Take the left ear down towards the left shoulder. And back up to centre, chin to chest again. Maybe you notice you can go a little bit deeper this time. That stretch into the tops of the shoulders. And then slowly lifting the chin up towards the ceiling. Eye gaze up. Just feel that openness in the front of the throat as you breathe in. And as you let it go. Okay, coming back to centre. Let's roll the shoulders up, round by the ears and then back. And again. Nice big circles. And one more time. Okay, so just a little bit more shoulder mobility. Take your right arm and then let's start making a figure of 8 movement out in front of you. Nice big figure of 8, getting a little bit bigger with each movement. And just feeling that rotation in the shoulder as we go. Now take that figure of 8 round to your side. Keep your body facing forwards. So this movement is just in the shoulders. Okay, and on your final one round, right hand crosses left knee. Take the left hand behind you. Inhale to lift the spine. Exhale to twist and look over the back shoulder. Hold it here. Breathe into the twist. And coming back round to centre. Let's roll the shoulders forwards this time. 3 times. And then left hand. So we're going to make a big figure of 8 out in front of you. Our shoulders clicking. Most of us hold a lot of tension in the shoulders. Okay, so let's move over to the side now. So keeping your body facing forward. Figure of 8 out to the left side. Let's just do one more. And then sweeping the left arm up and over, crossing over the right knee. Take your right hand behind you. Inhale to lift first. Exhale to twist. Look over your back shoulder. As you inhale, lengthen even more. And as you exhale, twist a little deeper. Okay, let's come around to centre. One more roll of the shoulders back. And one forwards. Inhale to take the arms wide. Exhale to reach the arms out in front of you as though you're hugging a big beach ball. Round off the spine and tuck the chin. Inhale to lift the chest, open up the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, hug that beach ball. Tuck the chin, round off the spine. Inhale to open. And exhale, round. Let's do one more. Inhale, open. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale. Inhale to open, and this time as you exhale, take your right arm underneath your left, bend the elbows and bring the backs of the hands together. You can bring the palms together if you wish. If you want to keep it nice and easy as we're just warming up, backs of the hands is fine. Take a breath in to lift the elbows level with the shoulders or the chin, and as you exhale, fold forwards, rounding off the back. Feel that stretch across the shoulders. It should feel really nice. So stay here, just releasing a little deeper with every breath. Okay, on your next in-breath, we lift and open. As you exhale, left arm under right, bend the elbows, backs of the hands together or palms touch. Lift the elbows, exhale to fold forwards. Now try squeezing your tummy muscles and just notice the difference that makes in your lower back. You probably feel like a little tingling, a little release.
Maybe you even sink down closer to the floor. We should be feeling this in the hips as well as that really nice stretch across the shoulders.
Okay, inhaling to lift and open. And exhaling to release. Okay, sweep your knees behind you. You're going to come to all fours. Cat-cow, fingers spread nice and wide. We're going to shuffle towards the back of the mat actually. So you want to have your toes right towards the back of the mat. Middle finger pointing forwards. Inhale to lift your sit bones. Chest comes forwards. Exhale to curl and arch your back. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Inhale to lift. Exhale to curl. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curl. One more in each direction. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, let's come back to neutral. Now just extend your right leg out behind you. Hopefully you've got a bit of space at the back of your mat. Just tuck the toes. Just push into the heels. Stretch out the calf muscle. Breathe into it. Keep pressing the floor away with the hands so you don't sink down into the shoulders. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. Okay, bring that right knee in towards your chest, round the spine. Breathe in to extend the leg out behind you. Exhale, knee to chest. Start to take the nose down towards the knee. And one more time. And exhale in. Okay, so you're starting with your knee in towards your chest. Now we're going to take the knee out to the side and draw a huge circle all the way back and round, into the chest, out to the side, back and round. Let's do one more. Nice hip circles. And now let's go the other way. So push the knee back, out to the side, up towards the elbow, and in. And two. Try and keep the rest of your body nice and still. So this movement is just coming from the hips. And replace the knee. Inhale, lift to cow. Exhale, curl to cat. Come back to neutral. Take the left foot behind you, tuck the toes, just press the heel away. So simple, but this feels so nice. If you suffer with cramps, it's a really good one. Now don't sink into the shoulders, push the floor away. Stay lifted, keep the spine long. Okay, release. Now we're going to bring the knee into the chest, nose to knee. Inhale to extend the leg out behind you. Lengthen. Exhale to crunch in. Inhale for length. And one more. Exhale in. Inhale. Extend. Now bringing the knee back in towards the chest, and then we're going to take it out towards the elbow, all the way back and round in a huge circle. Back to centre, out and round. Now try and keep the rest of your body still. Use your abdominal muscles for stability. Let's do one more. And then we're going to come back up, knee to chest, and then go back the other way. So push the knee back, then out, round to the elbow, and in, down, all the way out, to the elbow. Let's do one more. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, bring the knee back down to the floor. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. And coming back to neutral. Okay, take the fingertips way out in front of you along the mat. Sink your chest down towards the floor. So we're keeping the hips high above the knees for puppy dog stretch. Really deep stretch into the shoulders. Eye gaze is forwards. Ultimately, the full expression of this pose, your chest is on the floor, your chin's on the floor, and we're extending the legs out behind you. I'm not there yet, my shoulders are not open enough. We're just warming up, so. Okay, from here, look forwards, push with the knees until you find yourself on your belly in Sphinx. Arms are parallel, palms down, just have a look behind you, toes are coming in towards each other, heels are falling out to the side. Now press your hips into the mat and then push with your forearms to lift your chest. Keep squeezing the glutes. Got cramp in my toe. You have your feet flat. Ignore mine. Keep lifting the chest. So we're not dumping into the shoulders, we're lifting. Okay, now we're going to slowly lower the forehead down. Bend your right knee, reach behind you to grab the foot. Now press into your left arm to lift back up into a sort of Sphinx posture on that side. And we're going to start squeezing the heel in towards your bottom and push the left arm into the floor to lift the chest. Try to turn your hips back towards the floor. So we're stretching the quads, opening up the chest, squeezing the back of the body. Okay, release, come back to your Sphinx. Bend your left knee, take hold of the left foot, press into the floor with the right arm, squeeze the heel into the glutes. Now try and turn your hips back towards the floor. Keep the chest lifted. And release. Okay, now bring your hands underneath your shoulders, take the knees wide, push back into a child's pose. So you should be feeling probably a little bit of heat here in the lower back. Let's just take a few breaths to release that and let it go. We're going to do a little bit more work on the back and on the upper body. Okay, hopefully that's released for you. Feel free to stay there a little bit longer if you need to. We're going to push forwards with the knees again. Come down onto the floor. Lower your forehead to the mat. Now bring your hands flat to the floor, underneath your shoulders, so the tips of your fingers should be level with the shoulders. Now look at your elbows. Bring them in, tuck them in towards the ribs. Big toes towards each other, heels out. Doesn't matter if they're not touching, as long as that's the direction that they're going in. So we're just placing all of our bones correctly here. Forehead to the floor. As you breathe in, press your hips into the mat and lift your head and shoulders off the floor, squeezing the glutes. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift. Squeeze the glutes. Now you're not pressing into the hands at this point, they're just resting here. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Now this time as you inhale, you're going to come a little higher. So lift as high as you can without pressing your hands into the mat. Then press them in. But only lift so high, so your hips stay on the floor, elbows are tucked in, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to lower yourself down, super, super slow, peel yourself down. Inhale to lift again, as high as you can without the hands first, and then a little higher, shoulders down. Exhale to lower, now peel yourself down as slow as you can, resist gravity. You're going to be feeling this in the triceps. Inhale to lift, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, very, very slowly lower. This time as you inhale, as high as you can without the hands, then press into the hands and come all the way up. Straight arms. Now, you should have your wrists underneath your shoulders. If they're too far forwards, take a moment to bring them back a little. Check the toes are still pointing in. Lift. Press the floor away so you're lifting the chest. Now, your hips are probably off the floor unless you've got a really flexible back, in which case, lucky you. Keep looking forwards. Now, as you exhale, same thing. Elbows stay tucked in as you very, very, very slowly lower to the floor. Slow as you can. Inhale to lift. All the way up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bend the elbows so the thighs come down first, then the hips, then the belly, then the ribs, chest, forehead. One more, inhale. Press the floor away, slowly lift. Exhale, bend the elbows, thighs first, hips, belly. And again, inhale to lift. Press the floor away. Now you can stay here in your full cobra, or if you want a little bit more, you're going to push the tops of the feet into the mat so strongly that your legs lift. So this is upward facing dog. Okay, so little strength challenge for you. We're going to lower down to the floor slowly as we have been doing. If you want the extra challenge, don't lower your legs until your chest hits the floor. So you're going to exhale to lower. All the way down. And then we lower to the floor. Okay, take the knees wide. Very, very carefully push back into a child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Well done, everybody. Probably going to feel that tomorrow. If you need to, bring the hands down by the sides of the feet. Just release the shoulders. Just give it a moment for that warmth in the lower back to release. Good strength work. Okay, let's come back up to sit. Okay, so we're going to go towards the front of the mat now. I'm going to adjust my top now that I'm not lying on my belly. You're going to come to the top of your mat and make your way into a plank. So you're going to have your hands towards the top of the mat, wrists underneath the shoulders, extend the legs out behind you, heels over toes. Nice long line through the back of the body. Back of the neck is long, eye gaze to the floor. Now you can have your feet hip distance or you can bring them together, up to you. Just hold it here, breathe. If you need to, you can pop the knees down. Keep pressing the floor away with the hands. Okay, one more big breath in. As you breathe out, lift your hips to downward facing dog. Don't move the hands and feet, keep them where they are. And feel that lovely stretch into the back of the body. Now soften your knees. Lift your sit bones as high as they will go. And now straighten the legs, push the heels towards the floor. Now let's repeat that. Bend the knees, lift the sit bones. Belly to thighs, and then straighten the legs. Now if you are noticing that your back position changes depending on whether your knees are bent or straight. So for example, it might be straight here, and then when you straighten off, maybe sometimes your back might round a little like this. If that's happening, I would recommend that you always keep a little softness in the knees, just until you get a bit more flexible to maintain that flat back with the legs straight. More important to get the back stretch and the spine nice and long and straight than it is to have straight legs with the heels down. So just have a little play with it, figure out where you are. Okay, so from here we're going to step the right foot up between the hands. So you can always come down to the knees if you wish, and then step the foot forwards. Knee over ankle, lift the chest. eye gaze forwards. Let's just take a moment here to stretch the hip flexors. Shoulders away from the ears. So we've got quite a dynamic flow coming up. Let's just make the most of these last few deep stretches. Keep breathing. Okay, hands down either side of the front foot, tuck the back toes and step it back to downward facing dog. Left foot steps up now, back knee down, lift the chest. Roll your shoulders back down away from the ears, sink down into the hips, knee is over the ankle. Okay, hands down, tuck the back toes. We're going to step it up to the top of the mat. Bring the feet together, soften the knees, have your belly in contact with your thighs, have a little wiggle. And then release, crown of the head down towards the floor, soft knees. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift your sit bones a little higher as you try to wriggle your chest further down your legs. And then as you exhale, soften. Inhale again to try and push your body in opposite directions. Tailbone lifting as the chest comes down. And exhale, soften. One more time, inhale. Exhale, softening down. Okay, bend your knees, sweep your fingertips along your mat. Eye gaze between the hands into chair pose. Shoulders away from the ears, sink lower. Inhale to come all the way up to standing, palms meet. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, take a sip of water if you need one. I'm going to open my window because I'm a bit warm. And I'm going to have a sip of water. Okay, so towards the top of your mat. Hands together in prayer. Okay, so if you're unsure of any of the modifications throughout this flow, then I would recommend you go back and look at the sun salutation tutorial. Okay, inhale, raise the arms over the head. Exhale to fold forward, so push your chest forwards to keep the spine long. Release the hands, bring them down by the sides of your feet. Take a big breath in, step your right foot back. We're going to keep the back knee lifted, but we're still going to roll the shoulders back and try and lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Exhale to step back to a downward facing dog. Inhale to roll through plank. So I want you to come high on the toes, round off the spine, so it's like a ripple from the feet up to the shoulders. Find ourselves in plank. Now exhale, first one, knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, push and lift to cobra, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps up, keep the back knee lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise, soft knees. Exhale, we're going to come straight down to the left side. Inhale, left leg back. Knee stays lifted, shoulders roll back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll your spine through to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, push and lift to cobra, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. So that's one round. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back. Option to stay here with the fingers touching down. For more of a challenge, we're lifting the arms into a high lunge. Exhale, step it back to down dog. Inhale to plank. Really roll through the spine. So as we lower here, you've got all of your choices that you normally do in a sun salutation. We can stick with 8-point pose, or we can move to chaturanga on the knees or the toes. I'll demonstrate on the toes this round. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift to cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps up. Option to sweep the arms high. Exhale, step it in, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, straight down for the left side. Inhale, left leg back. Option to lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale to lower, your choice for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps up. Option to rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, we're going to do one more just like that. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back. We lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, roll to plank. Exhale to lower, your choice of chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps up, we lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, all the way back down for the left side. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forwards. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, we're going to add in now. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back. Option to lift the arms. You don't have to do this. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forwards. We rise. Hold it here. We're going to bring the hands to the heart. Okay, so just check in with your alignment. Knee over the ankle, back leg is nice and straight. If you need to, there's the option to pop this back knee down on the floor. We're going to keep this nice and strong. Roll the shoulders back. Hold it here. Nice deep knee bend. Keep breathing. Okay, inhale, arms rise. Exhale, reach forwards on the diagonal, loading up the front thigh. Keep that back heel really lifted. Should be feeling it. Okay, let's come back to center. Tap your back foot in. Hinge forwards into warrior three. I'm just going to step back a little bit in case I chop my head off. Warrior three. Try and keep the hips square to the floor, shoulders away from the ears, back toes point down. Okay, so we're going to try not to put that left foot down. Soften your right knee. Let's come up to standing. Bring your left knee into the chest for crane. Okay, take a moment to get your breath. If, like me, you're out of breath, it's not very often I have to do the whole thing and talk all the way through at the same time. So here, test your balance. Bring your right hand to your hip. Start to take your left knee out to the side. Open up the hip. Bring it back round to centre. Maybe take the left fingers down to hook the big toe. Stand nice and tall. Start to straighten off the left leg. Nice stretch for the hamstring. Squeeze the tummy muscles in, try and lift nice and tall. Okay, bend the knee, step the foot back into your high lunge. Okay, now straighten off the front leg. See if you can plant your back heel towards the floor. It doesn't have to be touching. Big breath in. As you breathe out, push the chest forwards into your pyramid. Now you can release your hands down. The blocks that you've got or your books that you've got, you can bring them either side of this front foot. If you can't quite reach the floor comfortably, good intense stretch for this hamstring. So if it hurts behind this knee, soften the knee. You don't want any pain. As you breathe in, try and lengthen the spine, move the chest further forwards. Doesn't matter how low you're getting towards this leg. Main thing is we want the spine to be lengthened. Press your front big toe into the mat. Try and keep your hips square. So that might mean pushing the right hip back, left hip forward. Okay, soften that right knee. Step it in, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, we come straight down to the left side. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot steps up and we rise. Exhale, bringing your hands to your heart just to check in with your posture. We're holding this here, don't forget. Knee over ankle, back leg nice and straight, heels high, tailbone is lengthened. We're not sticking our bottom out and arching the back. We're trying to keep everything steady here. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep breathing. Maybe you can work your way a little bit lower, thigh parallel to the floor. Okay, inhale to raise the arms. One more challenge. Exhale, lean forward. You should be feeling that in the thigh now. Lift the back heel. Okay, release. Step your back foot in. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hinge down into warrior three. Hips square, back toes point down, shoulders away from the ears, and lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Okay, without touching down, let's see if we can come up to standing. Bring your right knee into your chest for crane. I'm going to step back a little bit in case I'm not in the shot. Don't want to waste all of this. We're not going for perfection, but it is helpful if you can see me, I know. Okay, so left hand, left hip. Start to open up the right knee. Nice hip stretch. Come back round to centre. Fingers around the big toe. See if we can straighten off that leg. Good balance, Good stretch for the hamstrings. Okay, let's release. Step that foot way back, bringing your hands to your hips. Now you might need to go a bit further back. I'm shuffling because I've gone back on my mat. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hinge forwards. Now release your hands, bring them to blocks if you need to, and you can always keep them there if that's comfy for you, or you could bring them to your heart. Choose the option that works for you. Check in with your hips, make sure you're not opening to the right. You want to push that left hip back, right hip forward, to keep them nice and square. Chest moves forwards. Spine lengthens with every breath in. Okay, soften that front knee. Step the back foot in, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, inhale. Exhale to fold. Leave it here in a standing forward fold. Okay, now take your right foot and just hook it behind your left. So you're crossing the feet at the ankles. Stay here in your forward fold. Just notice how different that feels in the hips. Okay, unhook the feet and now take the left behind the right. Fold down. Should be feeling a really nice stretch into the left hip. And then come back to centre. Just have your toe bones touching. Now, if you can touch your fingers onto the floor comfortably, try and lift your heels with straight legs. If you can't, then bend your knees as much as you need to get that help with the fingertips on the floor before lifting the heels. Now slowly, keeping the heels lifted, bend your knees until you end up with your bottom on your heels. Lift the chest, stretching out the bottom of the feet. Okay, so if this is enough for you, then you can try maybe balancing on both feet with your hands at your heart. If you would like an extra challenge, stay up on the toes, maybe trying to cross your right leg tightly over your left leg. So you're sitting on your left heel. So you can try balancing here, fingertips to the floor, maybe lift one hand and then the other hand. This is even harder when you're talking. Keep squeezing the thighs together. So you can try it with a toe down as well. There's lots of little cheats here. Ultimately, we want to end up just on the toes. Doesn't matter if you fall, she says, falling. Okay, now walk your hands back until your bottom touches the floor. Step your left foot slightly away from you and then take your right knee out a little bit wider. Lift the chest. So it's okay if this foot's a little bit further away. Lift the chest. You can use your hands, push into the hands. Now stretch into the hips. Now bend your elbows. Stretch the left leg out in front of you. So your right knee should now be facing up. And let's twist to the right. Keep the spine nice and long. Flex your left foot. Eye gaze over the right shoulder. And let's come back around to centre and unravel. So of course we're going to do that on this side. So let's try and come back up to this position here with both feet on the mat. On the toes, so high up on the toes, on the balls of the feet. Try and lift your chest. So this might be enough for you here. Nice stretch for underneath the foot. If you want to try balancing here on both toes, if that's enough for you, stay here and just keep working on lifting the chest. You can still feel all the little muscles working. If you want the extra challenge, now this is tricky for me because this is my bad knee, but you're crossing your left knee over the right and then working on your toe balance on this side. It's my bad knee. I'm going to have to be careful with that one. Have a little go. See how it feels, and then we're going to start to walk the hands back until we're sitting on the floor. Take the knee slightly wider. Now your right foot can be a little distance away from you, or it can be right up here, depends on your flexibility. Again, this is my bad knee, so I'm going to keep it a little bit further away. Now use your hands. Press the floor away, lift the chest. You should be feeling a really nice stretch into the left hip. Soften the elbows, extend the right leg, cross the left foot over the right knee. We're going to twist to the left. Lift the spine, eye gaze over the back shoulder. Keep that right foot flexed. And release, coming back round to centre. Okay, one more stretch before we relax. Come over onto the hands and knees. Take the feet, the knees wide, toes together for child's pose. Now keep your chest a little bit higher. Take your right arm underneath the left arm and walk the backs of the hands away from you. See if you can bring your forehead to the mat. Such a nice stretch for the shoulders, this one. And then lifting the chest, this time take the right hand on top. Slide the backs of the hands away. Forehead to the floor. And then whenever you're ready, you can come up to sit. Now, for those of you that have done this with me previously, you're going to know what I mean. So we're going to make a little pile of books or blocks or whatever you've got available here. Then we're going to start to stack it up. So if we were in a yoga studio, we would have our block and then our bolster, which is quite chunky. So I'm going to use a few cushions to kind of build up a slope. Now what we're aiming for is a slope to lie back on. So you don't have to be perfect. All we're trying to do is elevate the chest so that the heart is higher than the hips. With your blanket, this is just an old IKEA blanket, we're going to roll it up into a little sausage. If you've got any warmer clothing that you would like to put on for your relaxation, then go grab it now. You're going to sit at the bottom of your little creation. Bring the soles of your feet together and walk them quite close to your bottom. Now the middle of your little sausage shape goes over the top of the feet, and the blanket comes in and it just tucks under the hips. Now this is a smaller blanket than the one we would be using at a yoga studio, so I'm going to fold mine twice. Basically what you want is like a little prop just under the hip. Now you're not sitting on it, it's literally just wedged just where your hip meets your mat. Now, holding on to that so that it stays in place, just lie back onto your cushions. Now, this is super comfy for me. So just make sure that it is comfy for you. Now, I don't have the most flexible hips. This position is not comfortable for me to relax in without this blanket. So if you're feeling any pulling in the hips or in the inner thighs, you need more support here. So get another cushion or a block or another bit of blanket, tuck it underneath until you feel completely supported here. You should be able to just let the knees go and feel no discomfort in the hips at all. With the chest being lifted, a little bit higher is better probably. Maybe I should have got one more cushion just underneath here. The most important thing is the back is supported, the chest is nice and open, I can relax my neck. I'm not craning, I'm not crunching anything, my back's nice and long. Take the arms down by the sides of the body with the palms facing the ceiling. So you can put a blanket over you here, eye mask, whatever you want. Make yourself really, really comfortable. Let's take a really deep breath in. And open your mouth just to let it go. And again. Okay, so softly close the eyes if you haven't already done so. Just have a little scan of your body. Notice how it's feeling after that practice. Maybe warmth, maybe tingling. Hopefully a little looser. Just notice if there's any areas that are uncomfortable. Just make a few adjustments. Do whatever you need to do to feel super comfy. And then bring your attention back to your breathing. In and out through the nose. Just notice the effect that breath has on your body. Take your awareness down to your belly. And just notice that movement in the belly as it expands and contracts with every breath. Notice your chest rise and fall with every breath. Notice your throat, the sensation of the breath travelling in and out. And your nose, your nostrils, cool air as it enters the nose, and the warm air as it leaves. Notice your heart rate slowing down. Your breathing becoming softer and softer. As you breathe in, visualize your breath travelling from the base of your spine all the way up to just past the crown of your head. As you breathe out, visualize that breath travelling all the way back down your spine before it gets released into the earth. Taking with it any tension, any discomfort, any unwanted or negative thoughts that might pop into your mind. Just acknowledge them and then let them go with the breath out. Just give yourself the next minute to completely relax. obviously you feel free to stay here for as long as you want to. Feel free to just ignore my voice now and just drift off to sleep, or stay here for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Whenever you've had enough, you'll start to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into the room. Maybe some movement to the fingers and the toes. Now use your hands to bring your knees back together. Be really careful not to strain any of those muscles on the insides of the thighs or the hips that you've just worked so hard to release. Okay, just shift your hips over to one side and the knees the opposite side. Roll really carefully onto your side, just being really mindful that you're lying on cushions and blocks or maybe books. Just take a really deep breath in through the nose and let it out through the mouth. And whenever you feel ready, very gently bring yourselves up to sit. Just choose whatever seated position is comfortable for you. Roll of the shoulders. Just take a really deep breath in, sweeping the arms overhead, palms meet. Exhale, bringing the hands down to your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Gosh, that was nice. I could have stayed there for a little bit longer. Had to remind myself that I needed to talk to you guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're all well. Apologies for the lack of videos the last 2 weeks once again. I will try to keep up with one a week going forward. Studies start again on the 1st of May though, so I don't get much of a break. So fingers crossed I'll be able to do one a week for you guys. And if not, if you check my Instagram, I posted loads of ideas, people who I personally recommend, who are doing loads of really, really good online content for you. So hope you're all well. I hope to speak to you all soon.